You know why I'm not on mainstream media? It's because I don't want corporate bosses telling me how to exercise my First Amendment rights to give the commentary and analysis that I want to give, especially to our audience here. We never blow smoke or sunshine. But speaking of smoke and not sunshine, on Legal AF, we covered how the Facebooks and the Washington Posts of the world and the ABCs and the CBSs are bending over to capitulate to a madman, a tyrant in Donald Trump, because they feel they have to. But they're abdicating their First Amendment responsibility. And there's a way to fight back. And we talk about it on Legal AF. And here's an After Dark edition.
So now Donald Trump's next kind of target, if you will, is CBS. Donald Trump filed a lawsuit in Texas before a federal judge, Matthew Kacsmaryk, who's a very pro-MAGA judge. You know him from the Midas Touch Network and Legal AF because we cover all of those cases where he makes all of these like ridiculous rulings, whatever Trump basically wants, whatever MAGA wants, regardless of the law, he gives it to them. So all of the MAGA and Trump people try to find some frivolous basis to get the court cases there. It's where Elon Musk files his lawsuits. They all try to push it before this MAGA judge, basically. And he's their go-to guy. So Donald Trump filed what he called an unfair business practices case under Texas law. And that's why he claims it was in Texas, because he basically said 60 Minutes was mean to him, that they wanted to fact check him. So he didn't do the 60 Minutes interview, but then 60 Minutes interviewed Vice President Kamala Harris the same way 60 Minutes interviewed every presidential candidate over the past several decades, pretty much since the existence of 60 Minutes becoming a very kind of popular show. And then Donald Trump said, you selectively edited a portion out in one of your promo versions of the show about certain questions about Gaza. And there was a full version of it that was up that anybody can see. I think there was another version that was based on a certain timeline that had some things that weren't on the full version, but anybody could go and watch the full version. It's what networks do all the time. It wasn't like editing it out to collude with Kamala to be helpful. It was just what happens in, like, if that was the standard, when Fox actually makes the edits to help Donald Trump and like brings in fake audiences, to me, that's the concern, not when to literally fit the time frame of like 60 minutes of broadcast, that literally not every single thing can be included. But 60 Minutes shows, there's a full broadcast out there. They're not trying to hide anything, unlike Fox and the Trump propaganda networks that try to hide everything. So Donald Trump sued CBS and Paramount in Texas, and now Trump wants to try to get them to settle. So a lot of these companies, Paramount, run by oligarchs, the Sumner Redstone family. Sumner passed away. His daughter runs the company now. It's the Redstone estate that basically runs it. I mean, you got Facebook, which is run by, Zuckerberg. You've got, Disney, which, by the way, one of the main shareholders in Disney, not a lot of people know this, is actually Fox. But a lot of other oligarchs can, have major shares in Disney as well. And so what Trump does is basically now weaponizes the government, the DOJ, FCC, other things to basically say, look, big corporations, I'm going to screw up your stock. I'm going to screw up I'm going to make it miserable for you. And I'm going to stop your mergers. I'm going to prevent you from having sales of things. So one of the things that Paramount is trying to do is they're trying to sell. The Redstone family wants out. They're trying to get their $1 billion, for the next, 30 generations of the 100 generations for the Redstone family forever. They want to sell this thing that Sumner Redstone, built and sell it. They're in a deal to do that. That requires approval by FCC, by DOJ. So now what does Donald Trump do? He has his FCC open up an inquiry into CBS and Paramount, demanding that they respond to a number of requests, turn over things. Then you have CBS and Trump in a personal lawsuit from Trump's personal lawsuit over the 60 Minutes in Texas. They announced to the judge that they're in settlement discussions. Then the FCC sends that letter. And now I think there's this situation, Popok, where Paramount, the owner of CBS, they're like, okay, all we have to do is just write Trump a check for, personally, give him money. Give him 30 million, give him 40 million, and then maybe we can get our merger to go through. I think you have the 60 Minutes folks who are proud journalists saying, we're journalists, we're 60 Minutes, we have a proud tradition, we're not going along with this. I think you have the CBS execs probably more aligned, probably divided, but more aligned with their Paramount overlords and their oligarchs who control it because those execs are making a lot of money. So you've got all of that kind of tension taking place there. And by the way, in my opinion, Popok, I know I kind of cannibalized that topic. I'll give you the next one. But this is exactly what the First Amendment, this is the most clear-cut First Amendment violation where the government's coming in, chilling the speech of the media, and you have an FCC commissioner. Another FCC commissioner is saying right now, a whistleblower, but one of the people on that commission, the small commission, saying this is unlawful. What we're doing, what we're being forced to do is criminal, is not okay, is totally wrong. We should not be doing this at all. It's a violation of the First Amendment. And then you have Trump doing something similar with PBS and NPR, at the same time and attacking them because he wants to shut them down.
Yeah, you've got. I'll just do 2 lines on it. All of the things that you just outlined are going to find their way. Most of them are going to find their way into the court system. Back to legal AF for a minute. They are violations of various things like separation of powers, abuse of executive power, bribery in plain sight. There's one way to look at the $25 million that Meta is paying. They're overpaying for purported injuries that they don't have to pay for because, as you said, they're covered by the First Amendment. So if you remove the phony dispute, then it's just a cash transaction between media and Trump. We have a name for that. You've used it in another hot take, and I agree with you. When you're lining the pockets of somebody in return for something else or for favored regulation, it has a B at the beginning of it. Welcome back. They did a ranking recently of the top podcasts of the world. Yes, we took a look. And regardless of genre, Legal AF was number 8 in the world. Number 1, Joe Rogan. Heard of him? Number 2, Midas Touch. You heard of them? And then right up there with them, number 8, Legal AF. That's a testament to our audience, their commitment, their devotion, their enthusiasm for what we do here at the intersection of law and politics. I invite you to become part of our grand audience. Join our journey as part of your own. Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on the Midas Touch Network. And then we got a brand new YouTube channel in collaboration with Midas Touch that I curate called, wait for it, Legal AF, Legal AF MTN. Take a moment, hit the subscribe button there as well. We're doing, I can do, maybe 15, 16 videos a week on Midas Touch. Ben, Meiselas, and others do another equal amount. But for the real drill down the granular, 6, 8, 10 videos a day, every day, come on over to Legal AF, the YouTube channel, and take a listen. We've got some great contributors over there. We got Dina Dahl, Sean Wu, Court Accountability Action, Karen Friedman, Ignifilo, me, Michael Popok, and a band of others. That merry warriors over there on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. So until my next contribution to all things Legal AF, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.